What's going on all out there in internet land? I'm Captain Sean, and this is the 5th episode of the Catalina Crew podcast. We're sitting here in 60-degree Marina Del Rey, California. I'm with my main man, Tyler Garfield. We've done a few things together. He's a soul surfer.
Yep.
He's a paddleboarder.
Paddleboarder.
And he's a social media guru.
Yeah.
So we're just going to get into it and just shoot the shit about pretty much what we do out here in California. So
absolutely.
Just give me some background on yourself, what you've done, where you grew up, you know, how you got into surfing, stuff like that.
Yeah, so I'm originally from, I'm from Manhattan Beach, so not too far away from here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've been by the ocean my entire life. It's like all I know, pretty much. Grew up surfing in Manhattan Beach when I was 8 is when I started. And then had a pretty unusual skill that I found out early on, that I could do headstands pretty well on land.
Yeah.
And when I was younger, I was like, oh, I can do them on land. Like, let's try to do them, you know, on the surfboard. And next thing I know, I'm doing headstands on surfboards.
When you were a kid?
Yeah, when I was a kid. I started really early.
Because you're still doing the headstands on the surfboard.
Still doing them at 33. Try not to break my neck.
Yeah. And I saw the video of you with Jamie O'Brien talking about the headstands.
Yeah. I met up with Jamie a couple years ago. We kind of connected on Instagram, and it was just like absolutely surreal to have that experience. It was so rad. One
of my boys, Rita, shout out to him. We were out there surfing last winter, and he put a Catalina Crew sticker on Jamie's mailbox.
Sick.
And I think it's still there. The last time he sent me a picture when he went to the North Shore. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's rad. Yeah, Jamie's a good guy, like class act, like pretty much like nothing but good things to say about the guy. He's such a nice guy. Yeah, I grew up in Manhattan Beach. Not a bad place to grow up, and just, you know, headstands and pulling in a closeout tube. That's my thing.
Yeah, this guy, you check his Instagram, like it'll be like dead. There'll be no surf. There'll be nothing at all. And then you're down there and it's like glorious tubes in the South Bay.
Yeah. I got my zones, which I won't mention right here, but
it's kind of like old timers with their fishing spots.
Yeah.
Where they won't give up their fishing spot.
Yeah.
Same thing.
That's pretty much it.
But then I'll look at your Instagram story and I'm like, dude, why is there like a 6-foot like barrel, dude? I'm like, it's like insane.
Yeah, it'll be flat in other places of the South Bay, and then next thing you know, it's just like 6 to 8 foot, just randomly at this beach that I like to surf.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah,
got a handful of close guys that I surf it with, and it's fun. It's fun for sure.
Cool. So Manhattan Beach, grew up doing handstands, and then what was the next progression?
So I actually ended up on the surf team at my high school. I went to Maricosta High School, so I actually used to compete surfing, shortboarding for a while. And then as I got older, I kind of realized that, like, you know, you get older and you start hurting yourself. And I was like, I don't really want to do that anymore. So I just kind of moved to the soft top game and started just really progressing in headstands and soft top surfing. And that's kind of like where I progressed more with surfing. And then, and kind of slowly did a lot surfing and accomplished a lot of goals, and was like, what can I do next? And that kind of led me over to you guys and the paddleboarding stuff, and I wanted to conquer my next big waterman task, and that was paddling from Catalina all the way home.
Yeah, man, that's one of the vlogs that we put out on the YouTube channel. 32 miles.
32 miles.
From 2 harbors to Manhattan Beach Pier, under 7 hours.
Yeah.
We were there the whole time. Your boys were going wild.
Yeah.
Your old man was on the boat.
After hip replacement surgery.
Obviously, and how long did you train for that?
I trained for about 6 or 7 months of rigorous training. Yeah, because my first time, I didn't really know what to expect, so I kind of just went as hard as I could.
And when you started, so how many miles could you do in the beginning?
I'd probably say the amount of miles I was doing in the beginning was like ranging anywhere from like 4 to 6.
Okay.
Felt like comfortable.
Yeah.
And then training really started to pick up, and you just kind of slowly progress a little bit more. But once I got into double digits, I was like, there is so much doubt in my mind. I'm like, there's no way I'm doing 32. There's no way I'm doing 32. But it got just, you know, I got stronger. I started drinking some Recoverite and some protein stuff after every paddle, and I could feel myself getting like a little bit bigger, and the paddle muscles were working, and it just kind of slowly progressed into just getting more and more confident with the entire thing.
Was that the gel that you were
the gel is
while you were paddling?
The gel is like during the paddle, so it keeps your energy going.
Okay.
So you're not bonking out there and like completely just losing steam. But I would drink a lot of like protein, you know, shit after long paddles for my muscles to recover and everything. And drink a lot of beer.
I noticed. Yeah, I think when you were like a mile out, that's when you had your first Miller Lite.
Yeah, no, so we were like, what, like, I was like 28 miles in and like was so
Yeah,
close.
yeah,
And at that
yeah,
point,
yeah.
I knew I was going to finish.
Yeah,
and I was like,
your shoulder was hurting, so you needed a little something to.
Yeah, my shoulder was bad. I was actually pretty, I didn't really let you guys know this because I just wanted to finish, but I was like pretty confident. I thought I like tore a rotator cuff at one point. I was pretty much paddling through like 10 out of 10 pain.
Okay.
100%. 10 out of 10 pain.
Every stroke.
Every single stroke from mile 23 to home. So like I would say 9 or 10 miles.
And how long were you down, like just chilling after that? Like I know you guys celebrated because I saw it on the internet. We went home. Long day and a half or 2 days. So, but yeah, because I saw you were celebrating, and obviously it's such an accomplishment to celebrate. But like, how long did it take to recover, to get back to feeling?
Probably like 2 weeks. I felt like back to normal. I went to Vegas and just forgot about paddleboarding for a little bit and just partied my ass off for a good weekend. And,
yeah, Vegas.
And wasn't really surfing or paddling because like my shoulder just hurt so bad. And then after 2 weeks, I could feel it getting better. And next thing I know, like I feel more than less like 100% fine now.
Yeah, you said you were just out here. Right behind where we're filming right now is Mother's Beach, if you guys want to type that into the Google's box. And that's where a lot of paddleboarders paddle out here. So you guys, you said you just went for what, 5, 6, 7 miles the other day?
I did like a 7.5 mile on Saturday with my buddy Hunt, who also did the classic with me. And I love Mother's Beach over here. It's so rad. Like it's really good paddleboard community. A lot of guys like.
Well, our first time we dipped the wakeboards in, that's where we launched them to test them, to try them.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to be ripping around the harbor, but you know it's perfectly glass right there.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
It's nice. I was saying earlier, like talking to Trevor, like when it's really windy and just like shitty conditions pretty much everywhere, like you come to the marina and it's like just has this like
it's like
enclosed, it's blocked.
Yeah.
You can get miles in and do your training.
Well, it's weird. Depending on which finger you're on, it can be ripping like 80 miles an hour and then it can be dead in another spot because of the building.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And it's almost like crazy. You're just like, oh, we got no problem on the boat. And then like my buddy 3 fingers over would be like, my sail's ripping off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
like,
super weird.
Like shit is like batting down the hatches like 3 fingers over.
Yeah.
But so, just so we can explain, the Catalina Classic, 32 miles, that's what it's called, the Catalina Classic paddleboard race. And it's not just getting to 2 harbors and getting to Catalina is a day in itself. It's a feat in itself. So we took off from Marina del Rey. We took the boat over to Avalon, which is 40 nautical miles.
Yeah.
Then we stayed there, hung out. We got up at like 3:30 in the morning. Took my boat at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning to Avalon, which is to 2 harbors, which is another 10 miles. And then you got to get ready. Everyone has to check in. The race starts. And then us as the chase boat, we're just making sure that he's okay. And everyone, all his friends and family are on the boat to support him.
Yeah.
And then 32 miles, almost 7 hours to Marina del Rey. And then your dad and your buddy rode back with us up here, which was another 9 miles from Manhattan Beach to Marina del Rey.
How gnarly was that day? It was so gnarly.
Oh yeah.
I was like, also like, I was just so scared on that boat ride from Avalon to 2 harbors.
Oh, it's black, man, black.
And I could kind of see you could kind of see Long Beach and Pedro like a little bit in the distance, but I was just like, in my mind, I'm like, what are you fucking doing, dude? Like you're gonna paddle across this entire like black ocean like home? Because the race started at what, like 6? So it was like like the sun was coming up. So like I remember that boat ride over. Like I know a couple of the boys and stuff were chatting and stuff, but I was just like dead silent because I like was just trying to.
Well,
get
you gotta
into
like
the
zone in, yeah.
And I was like, am I gonna be able to do this? Like I'm not. I've trained. Like the most amount of miles I did before that race was 25. So I knew I had the miles.
That's what I was gonna ask too. Did you actually do 32 beforehand, or did you just think, all right, I hit this number, now I think I can finish?
That's pretty much what it was. Like I trained with one of my buddies who's done the classic. This would have been like his like 4th time doing it, and he's like, the most amount of miles you're gonna do before this race is like 25. So I did a 25er probably a month out before the race.
Okay.
And then I tapered and like kind of got less and less on my miles. And by the time race time came around, like I was nervous getting there, but when I hit the start line, like I was antsy. I had the jitters, but it was like nervous, like so much pent up energy in me that I was like, let's fucking go.
Yeah. And then you guys all started out like a bullet. But then you kept an even pace the whole way through.
Yeah, I felt
the
good.
race. You know what I mean? You kept up. It's like some of these people, that's their job is, you know, or their main focus is paddleboarding.
Yeah, and I
know,
obviously got it.
For someone new to the sport, but being a waterman, that's kind of what the podcast is about, is talking about, you know, the common bond of the ocean that brings us all together, but how you can be like a pro in one and a complete novice in the other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then you like to learn other marine aspects along the way.
Yeah, it was.
And you use your surfing into your, you know what I mean, into your paddleboarding.
If I hadn't been surfing as much as I had my whole life, like the paddleboarding wouldn't have come as easy. But I feel like I had those like surf muscles and I had like the balance already.
Yeah.
So getting on a paddleboard felt like pretty just like easy.
Yeah. Well,
just, it felt
I
like
watched
natural,
it. It wasn't that easy, but I did. And we also, when we were coming back too, Trevor also lost his phone in the sea. That
was gnarly.
That was a hundo.
Yeah. Getting, I think, at 2 harbors, right? Like his phone went into the water.
It comes right off the boat, right into the drink. Luckily, it landed face up.
Yeah.
So the light, and then that guy freaking pretty much, he was like, I'll dive in and get it. And I was like, I don't really want to dive 20 feet right now at 4 o'clock in the morning. And then the guy got it. He got it in what? Less than 10 seconds.
Wild, dude.
So, yeah, man, that was
Watermen unite right there.
That's one live to tell the tale right
exactly.
there. That was one that's one for the books. Are you going to do the race again?
Yeah, I'm going to do it next year. So I want to do it next year. I'm weird with odd numbers too. Like I got to get at least like 2 in me. And I also, now that I did it in 6:55, and like I want to beat my time now. Like I think this year was like proving to myself that I could do it.
Okay.
And this next year is like wanting to just beat that time.
Yeah.
And train.
Well, now that you know what it is,
yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what to dial in on, and what you maybe you're stressing out before that isn't as big as an issue.
100%. 100%. I feel like the training will probably come a little more natural, and I have the schedule already. And I know like what to fuel my body with and like where my mind needs to go. And a lot of paddling is like really 80% mental. I mean, you're just kind of blocking out like everyking you're feeling and just keep your arms moving.
I think that's like
running
running.
a marathon.
Yeah, running, any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Once you like, you just got to laser focus. And knock it. Like once you get over that plateau, I feel, because I grew up playing sports and like very competitively, like baseball, basketball, and once you get over the hump, you're good to go.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you go to like basketball practice at the beginning of the season, and they freaking work you to the bone, and you're like dead. But once you get over that first like week or two, then you're just like, all right, I can go all day.
Well, and props to you guys, because I mean, obviously that race is not possible without like the follow boats. I mean, like guys who did it in the first years of it did it without follow boats, which is insane. But I could never imagine doing that race without you guys like next to me, because I felt actually safer on that paddle than I did on like.
Well, then you're not alone. I didn't think about that aspect. You're not alone out there, because you don't know what's under you.
Yeah.
We drove by this huge sunfish.
That thing was massive.
We didn't know if it was a shark or not.
I didn't either.
And we were like, bro, let's not, because we didn't want to spook you.
Yeah.
And because I don't care who you are, unless you're maybe that Ocean Ramsey girl who kisses him on the face.
Right.
Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Seeing sharks.
Yeah.
Man in the gray suit is no fun for anyone.
Oh my gosh. And I saw like a couple of great whites like on my training days, and obviously we didn't have a boat next to it. It was just like me and my buddies out in the water.
Wait, so you saw whites? What, down near PV?
Yeah, right off
Which
PV.
is Palos Verdes?
Yeah, I think there's like a little area off where I guess where like some of them breed, and it's called like, they call it like Shark Park. I guess it's like, I learned about this after I saw the sharks. But I was on like a 22-mile training with my buddies. There's like 4 of us, and got on my knees, and I was like, is that a bird? Like, what is that? And I just see this fin, and it's just doing circles. And it's just full on a great white shark, just like circling something in the water. So we all kind of like watched it for a bit, had some snacks, started paddling home. And then on the way back, like 10 minutes later, another one just pops up next to us and just is like veering right next to our paddleboards.
Next to
We're
your
just watching
paddleboards?
it like probably like 50, 60 feet away from us, just like cruising. And we just saw the fin.
How big? Bigger than the board?
No, I'd probably say it was a baby. I give it like anywhere from like 6 to 8 foot, which is still like not a fun thing to see.
yeah, dude.
But yeah, and my buddy got actually like knocked over and got attacked, not really attacked, but got like clipped off his board by a sunfish. Sunfish like popped up, smacked him off his paddleboard. His board flipped over. It like grazed his foot, like the fins like cut his foot. And those sunfish are like 700 pounds.
Yeah, they're weird, man.
They're
like,
weird.
They're like oscillating like this, and they're flopped over.
Yeah,
Things
and they
almost
look like sharks.
2D.
Yeah, the fins are like that big out of the water.
They don't like seem like they can swim. Like
I know, they just kind of bob.
Like this. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like, just like bob up and down.
And I'm just like, what is that?
Yeah.
yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Props to you. Props to everyone who did the race.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean? Like it was just a surreal like event. I'm glad we had all the gear and we droned it too. And
it was we did some sick edits and stuff.
Yeah, that's all thanks to THV, Trevor Hansen Boss.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
Gotta look him up, honeycrisp.com.
Yeah, we got some really sick clips and stuff. That was a really special day. I mean, I was telling my wife, like, I mean, other than like my wedding day, it was probably like the most emotional day I've ever had. Like,
yeah, your old man was stoked.
We were all
Oh,
stoked.
your brother flew in?
My brother flew in. He was on the boat. You know, I back when I was 19, my lung collapsed in a surf accident. I'd had like 2 surgeries, so having to be able to do that marathon and like that paddle marathon, and after all the shit that I went through, like back when I was younger and stuff like that, like PTSD and everything. It was super special. So like when I crossed the finish line, like just nothing but just like tears and emotion.
Yeah, dude, that was killer, man.
Yeah.
We were stoked.
Yeah.
The finish line was raging too.
It was raging.
There was tons of people down there. Yeah, we were just like, oh, this sucks. We're still on the sea.
I know.
We still have to keep going.
It sucks that like I got a good greeting with my dad and my brother, but you know the greeting you get on the beach. Like shout out to all my family and friends who came too. I love everybody. They like all had T-shirts made for me, and they're all like down at the finish line, and I could hear them. It was crazy, right? We were getting closer to the pier, and like my shoulder is just like killing me. I don't even know if I can move anymore. But I can hear like everybody on the beach.
Yeah.
And I knew exactly who it was, like a sea of white with the shirts on. And I crossed the finish line, and like just knowing my wife and everybody who were on the beach just was like made everything even better.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Family and friends, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
You know?
So.
And your boys, didn't your boys, or one of them rock to Speedo, or do they all wear a Speedo?
No way. My buddy Noah, yeah, he's a character. I love him. He rocked the Speedo and that like big, remember he had like that big umbrella hat?
Yeah, oh, he's rocking the surf poncho too.
And the surf poncho.
Yeah.
I gave him the Catalina Cruise surf poncho too.
Yeah, dude. He was all thugged out.
Yeah, he's a big Bud Light. He threw me the Bud Light when I was drinking.
Not Miller Lite. Sorry, Bud Latte. Bud Latte.
He's our Bud Light guy. He's our Bud Light sponsor.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I just hope we're a part of the next one.
Yeah.
That's the hard thing that I did talk to people after the fact, because it is such a long day.
It's a long day.
And that the amount of boats that were out there too, and there's all different variants of boats, like sailboats, which you wouldn't think would be in something like that.
Right.
It's just like everyone's just like, I'll take anything. It's like the opening scene from Jaws where they're all in like rowboats and they're trying to go get the shark. I'll take anything out there to see.
Yeah.
And then once you get out there, you're like, what the fuck? This is crazy.
It was kind of, you know what I kind of like compare it to is like, it was almost like a stadium, because like I was in with my buddy Gabe at one point. We were like kind of neck and neck, and like we had all these boats like on the left and the right of us.
Okay.
So that's when I felt pretty safe, because I'm like, I feel like I'm in like a gladiator pit right now. And like all the boats are like kind of like just like going with us. So it felt like
I think that would keep sea life away too.
Yeah, with all the motors and everything going on.
The friggin' reverb coming from all the props and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, all the prop wash.
Big great white shark sighting I heard though, like a week after the race out in the channel though.
Really?
I saw a
Wait,
photo.
near Catalina?
Like right in the channel where I was paddling.
See, this is like, so one of the bucket list things I've done is wakeboard, because we grew up wakeboarding, and I wakeboarded out in Catalina like, I don't know, 2021. We did it right in Avalon at twilight. It was like glass, same thing. And I was like, this is so awesome. And then like 3 weeks later, somebody who's like really versed in sea life out here was like, oh, that's shark breeding ground.
Yeah.
November, bro, they're dialed in. And I'm like, what? I was like, and it wasn't just me, my friend Brooke, she was out of everyone on the boat, no one else wanted to do it, and she's from Boston.
Yeah.
So she's a New Englander as well, and she was like ready to go.
Yeah.
But dude, that was
Sketch.
awesome. That was, yeah, but it was so cool. It's awesome being in the water. The only thing is, it's hard to not think what's beneath you.
Yeah.
But you gotta
For sure.
But I do when you fall on the wakeboard, you're just like this.
Just doing that.
Like, like, don't bite me.
Oh, I mean, I tried the entire time just not thinking of like what was below me. I'm just like, just keep your arms moving, and like if something happens, like the boat will let you know.
Yeah, and then we just drag you onto the boat, and like it's good.
That's the only way I get on that boat, is if that's the only thing stopped me.
I know, you're not allowed to touch the boat.
Can't touch the boat.
There's all these like rules. Like we had to like throw a fishing net to you with your supplies in it.
Yeah.
Your gels.
Yeah, the gels.
And whatnot.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Well, bro, I'm just stoked I was a part of it.
Dude,
Trevor first made it, and he filmed.
Yeah.
And he took care of TCB, take care of business. So next, let's go on to like, since you still live out in LA, you grew up in LA.
Yeah.
You have a really cool job
Yeah.
that you weren't really able to disclose until like recently, correct?
Yeah.
So yeah, tell us a little more about that.
Yeah, so I do social media for Fox Entertainment, not to get confused with Fox News.
Yeah,
not
yeah,
Fox
yeah,
News,
yeah, no,
Fox Entertainment.
I do it for Tucker Carlson.
Yeah. So yeah, I work at Fox Entertainment. I do social media. I've actually been running the Family Guy account. I'm pretty much the voice of Family Guy on social media. I've been doing that for like 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
That it's been insane. I've learned so much, like with the social media space and working with Seth MacFarlane and like Mila Kunis and a lot of the talent who are on Family Guy. I've got to meet them a couple times.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And I'm also working on a show, shameless plug, but Rescue High Surf.
Okay.
Which is a new show on Fox. It's about the North Shore lifeguards on Oahu.
We met some of those when we were out there. Those
Did you?
guys. And one of the dudes,
gnarly.
So we're with this guy, Adam 12, who's going to be a podcast guest. This guy's 68 and still charges pipe.
He
doesn't get deep in the barrel, but this guy was like an OG pipe dog.
Just going
like one
out
of the
there
original guys.
Yeah.
So I paddled out with him only because we were with Adam 12.
Yeah.
But he introduced us to one of the lifeguards. I don't recall his name, but he won the Eddie. He's just a
maybe
lifeguard.
Luke Shepardson is one of those guys.
He won the Eddie last year.
Yeah, Luke Shepardson.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gnarly, and he was like on the job while he won. So he was like lifeguarding while he won the event. So he was like going in and out of like his shift pretty much while like surfing.
Yeah.
He's insane.
So we went to Pipeline. Well, first we went to Mukalea. Adam 12, they brought us out, and I've told this story with Barry. Big Wave Barry was there. He was one of our guests on the podcast, number 1. But long story short is we went out. The waves were way bigger than we thought. They were like 7-foot Hawaiian, which is almost like 15 feet.
Yeah.
And so we paddled out, whatever. I caught a wave because he's like, let one smoke you. So I let it smoke me. And I was like, oh, it's not like a California closeout. This thing like crumbled nice.
Yeah.
So I got a wave. So then we were able to do like Haleiwa, Chuns, Puna Point, and then we paddled out at Pipeline. And it was like a smaller day there, probably like 4-foot Hawaiian.
Yeah.
And I caught a wave on the outside, and it was cool. But then the next day, Joa is his name, the surfer from Brazil.
Yeah.
We were there flying the drone, and he like tombstoned off a wave because it was firing that day. And all the lifeguards went out, and the kids and everyone who's a surfer, and saved this kid's life.
Oh, were you there that day when that happened?
We had the drone up in the air while this was going on.
Gnarly.
We never put the footage or
scary.
anything out there because, respect for the guy who went through that.
Right.
But like, it was insane.
Yeah.
And these dudes were like on. Mm-hmm. All out there. They grabbed him, CPR, everything on the beach. Yep. And then, the guy's out surfing again.
Yeah, I think he like just got back into it, but he's like, that guy's a beast. That guy's insane. I saw that wipe out. And like, it actually didn't look like anything out of the ordinary at Pipe, because guys do that kind of wipe out all the time, but you just never know what happens underwater. And like, you can smack your head on the reef, you can like get caught under a cave under there. Like, there's so many different factors that can happen.
Yeah, the whole surfing culture does fascinate me in the sense, like, being from New England, we don't really, there's not like mega surf spots like in California or Hawaii or any of these places, but it gets bigger and bigger and more treacherous, and that ocean, man, in an instant.
Yeah.
You don't have the respect for it.
Yeah.
Like we've talked about that when Zach was on the podcast about the captain aspect.
Yeah.
Like people partying on the boats and stuff, and it's like, man, we're in 6 to 8 foot rollers right now. Like, I batten down the hatches. We got to chill. Trevor was on one of the trips we were taking from Long Beach to Avalon. Super sunny day. We're on this 60-foot azimuth. We're going. Boats packed with people. Boom. Fog. Couldn't see like legit 50 feet in front of you.
Jeez.
So then I had to slow the boat down. I told everyone to chill out
and
let's dial this in. And then I was just foghorning the whole way until it broke again.
Right.
Because that's the only way if there's a boat there. And this boat, we were driving it for the owner. He doesn't have like super advanced radar systems or anything like that. So we're going old school.
Yeah.
Like chiming the bell.
Yeah, chiming the bell.
And just listening. Like some like real Nantucket sleigh ride shit back in the day. So,
sketchy.
That's the thing. It's cool. It's like, what's the quote? We're not all of the ocean.
Yeah.
Or wait, no. I'm trying to remember. We'll get back to that. But it's like, we don't all like the ocean, but we're all from the ocean.
Yeah.
It's something from Chasing Mavericks. All right, so the production team got me the phone, so now I know what the quote is. We all come from the sea, but we are not all of the sea. Those of us who are, we, children of the tides, must return to it again and again until the day we don't come back, leaving behind only that which was touched along the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, my old man told me stories, and I've said that in the Zach podcast, where I remember the first time I took the boat to Catalina, it was like 40 miles.
Yeah.
And I had never gone 40 nautical by myself, and this was on the sailboat, and it's 2016, and we got all the Catalina crew gear, and I get ready with my bullhorn for July 4th to try and sell T-shirts, whatever. So we had a great weekend out there. We ended up meeting the mayor. He gave us a golf cart. We were in the parade.
Nice.
So we were stoked, but on the way back, it took 10 hours. And I remember I called my dad when we got back, and I'm like, fuck this boat. I'm never going on it again. And he's like, bro, 2 weeks, you'll be back.
Yeah.
Live to tell the tale. You made it.
Yeah.
So, and it's kind of like, you know, you punctured your lung surfing, you're still out there.
Yeah. Punctured my lung, almost broke my neck. Oh my gosh, how many things have I done? I
Is that
broke
based?
my wrist.
But see, like, that's the thing. So you probably surfed in other spots around the world. And you know what I mean? What is explain the California closeout compared to, because what I've been told by people that are pretty good at surfing and they live in other areas like Hawaii, they're like, if you can learn to surf in California, you can be pretty good in other spots.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like the spot that I surf, like if you threw me into like a heavy beach break in like Nicaragua or Mexico or like something like that right now, like I would be able to handle it like pretty well because I'm pretty well trained at surfing those types of waves.
Yeah, because you drop into that barrel like real quick.
Yeah, I love it. It's my favorite thing in the world to do. A lot of my friends don't. Some of my friends don't even like surfing the spot with me because it's like, you're crazy, dude. Like that's just stupid. Like you're gonna hurt yourself, which I have. But it's fun. Like it's my adrenaline rush. Like I love it. But yeah, I mean, look, I've surfed in El Salvador. I've surfed Hawaii. I've surfed Nicaragua. I would love to go to Indonesia and Australia at some point. Haven't been over there yet.
Yeah.
And the spot that I surf here is like, I gotta tell you, it's like some of the heaviest waves that I've ever surfed. And it's like in my backyard.
Yeah,
which is rad.
For sure. Yeah, man.
It's cool to have that.
Sure. Yeah, some days like that's why I started surfing was because we joined that men's surf group a couple years ago and pushed each other to go out there, and it was cool, like camaraderie wise. But then I remember some days I was just like, whoa. Like these, like El Porto, it can be mean.
Yeah,
mean.
Yeah, El Porto's a mean wave. You know, when it's not like summertime and there's a billion people over there. Like
not to mention it's like 50 degrees in the water. You're in your wetsuit.
Yeah.
Overcast.
Yeah. Yeah, Porto's a bit of a. I'll surf it when I'm desperate, like when I really need like waves if it's flat everywhere else. But try to stay away from Porto because your shit gets stolen, which just happened to me. People are everywhere. There's no surf etiquette. Like guys are just like the parking lot's a freaking nightmare like most of the time.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it's good. It has its days like for sure, but like there's definitely like other places that I would rather be than Porto. For sure.
I honestly like we rode the awake boards and I've ridden the wave in Malibu, like Surf Rider Beach.
Yeah.
That wave's really cool.
I love Malibu.
But it's just so like packed.
It's
people.
so packed.
Yeah.
I love Malibu though. Doing headstands at Malibu is fun because I'll be like flip onto my head and the entire like inside lineup is just like what is this guy doing?
That's awesome.
I love it.
Yeah, we got to go out with him while he's doing the headstands in real time and film it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get the drone going.
I've been wanting to get some footage at Malibu on my head. I haven't done it yet. I would love it.
I'm down to go.
We should do it for sure.
We got to we'll bring the wakeboards. We'll bring all the toys.
Yeah, bring all the toys.
We'll bring all the toys.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
That'd be sick.
So obviously we're drawn back into the ocean, just like that quote, drawn back in the ocean conversation. Back to work.
Yeah.
Fox Entertainment,
yeah.
Social media. You know, so when I was in college, I remember Family Guy, I don't know if this is exactly true. This is what I was told. And DVDs had just come out, box sets, and I think Family Guy got canceled.
It did for a little bit.
But then in college, everyone bought the box sets and it brought it back.
Exactly.
And so Seth MacFarlane, I don't know if this is true, and if you do talk to him, ask him about this. There's a guy named DiNapoli, because my buddy, Pete French, who went to school at Northeastern, worked at this place called Emmanuel, and he was in the security booth. And this guy DiNapoli worked at RISD when MacFarlane was there.
Okay.
And supposedly this guy DiNapoli is who Peter Griffin's based on.
Interesting.
Like,
I hadn't heard that actually.
And my friend Pete, I remember when we lived in Boston, was like, dude, you can tell by the guy the way he laughs, everything. It's just
everything
like
is so
insane.
Peter Griffin.
And I don't know if that's true or not. I would, you got the source to fact check that.
For sure.
But I know he went to RISD, and that's what I was told by somebody who worked with this guy. The guy got fired from RISD for doing some like not above board shit, and then he went to Emmanuel, which is another school in Boston, and RISD, for people who don't know, Rhode Island School of Design.
Yeah.
So
because that's where Family Guy is in Rhode Island. So
yeah. Quahog.
Yeah, Quahog.
That's where our original boat was. Watch Hill, Rhode Island, the original Irish King.
Oh, really?
So that's where that's where we learned how to love and hate the ocean at the same time.
There you go.
we'd go out to the water and they'd have me like scrubbing the boot top in jellyfish season in like 500-foot deep water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Builds character.
Builds character for sure.
As they say.
Yeah.
But so you also run other social media accounts, correct?
Yeah, so Family Guy's a big one, obviously. Like I mentioned, Rescue Guys Surf about like the North Shore lifeguards.
That's it.
It's on a little bit of a hiatus, comes back on January 20th.
That's like a non-scripted show or a scripted show?
It's scripted. So it's a drama, it's scripted.
Okay. So it's based on real
It's based on, but what's really cool about it though is that a couple of the people in the show, like this guy Kikoa, like is an actual like North Shore lifeguard, and he acts on the show. Okay. So he's actually like kind of like doing his job while acting, you know? Like I gotta give it to, you know, to Fox, like they got the rescues like pretty spot on, and everything in there is pretty accurate. So when I first saw the first couple episodes, I was stoked at how it like came out and everything. It looked good. Awesome. Yeah. But yeah, I also work on a lot of Gordon Ramsay shows. So I met Gordon a handful of times. His social media guy, Justin, is one of my buddies. Really cool guy. And Gordon is one of the coolest, like nicest guys like ever. Like, I mean, he's, you know how he is in Hell's Kitchen and all these shows. He's like yelling at everybody. I mean, look, he puts on a front, but like, he's a good guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, when it's time to work, it's work time.
Exactly.
No bullshit. And then when it's time to play or whatever, or socialize, we get back to it.
Yeah, totally.
So back to our regularly scheduled program. Well, Trevor, our producer, Gordon Ramsay's his guy, and he wants to try out for Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah,
what show is it? What are you going for? Hell's Kitchen, Kitchen Nightmares, one of them. We gotta get him on the top of the list, bro.
Kitchen Nightmares actually comes back in I believe on the 7th of January is when Kitchen Nightmares comes back. But yeah, you probably don't want to be on Kitchen Nightmares because that's like they go to like different kitchens.
Oh yeah,
and, like,
not that one.
But probably like Hell's Kitchen, Next Level Chef,
I used to watch that. So BBC, I would watch F Word.
Okay.
That show was good. I love the British ones. And then like when you'd go to all like the little villages and stuff like that, the original Kitchen Nightmares, I think it was.
Yeah. That was the original.
Yeah. Those before it got all Americanized.
Yeah.
But because it was just like, it was him in like his real element.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I felt it was cool.
Yeah.
And that was like, I don't know. That was when I was in Boston. So like 10 years ago, I was watching that.
Yeah, for sure.
I randomly got BBC and I was just like, these shows are great.
Yeah, dude. I've actually, I got to travel to London when they were filming Next Level Chef there, and like I've gone to sets in Burbank with Gordon and everything.
Dude, speaking of.
Yeah.
So me and my friends back in the day, my friend Ashley and her friend Meg was visiting from Boston. We went to one of his shows. I don't know which the show was. Jamie Foxx was the guest, and they cooked for us, and they paid us $75.
Oh, sick.
It was at Paramount.
Oh,
we all
rad.
parked in the Forever Cemetery.
Yeah.
And then we walked over, and I don't know which show it was, but there was two teams, red and blue, and Jamie Foxx was the guest. And then some people got to eat, some people didn't, but it was salmon. And then they paid us when we left.
Oh, rad.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
That's rad. Well, I feel like for Hell's Kitchen, they have like red and blue teams and stuff like that. So I wonder if they're
This was like this is probably like 5 years ago.
Okay.
It's pretty. It was right after what happened to Chris Cornell, because they had like a monument and everything like set up for him at.
Well, speaking of Jamie Foxx too, like I worked on. I don't know if you got I worked on the show Beat Shazam that's still going. I worked on like him and Corinne Fox's daughters on that. So I've been working on that for a little bit too as well.
Nice.
I probably have like, I'm on like 8 shows. It's a lot. It's a lot.
And you got to post and you got to have people engaged.
Yeah. So I started on the agency side, which was like making captions and stuff. And then a couple years ago, I went to the client side on Fox. So now I'm more of like strategizing all the social media. Like I don't necessarily have to write copy anymore. I pretty much approve everything that you see go on the channels. Like I'm approving that.
Okay.
So I'm the guy that the agency goes to make sure that like everything's looking good. Everything's polished.
That's sweet.
And, making sure the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed.
Just like surfing, just like paddleboarding with work as well, and life progression.
Yeah.
Tyler's progressing continuously. That's
trying.
That's the way it should be, bro.
Yeah.
And like we talked about, you're going to try and paddle the race again next year.
Yeah, dude. That's the end goal. My wife is like, get it out of your system now because,
Your wife, she's cool.
She's awesome. And she's like, once, if we end up wanting to have a kid or two, she's like, get all this crazy shit out of your system now. And then
wheelie down the PCH on your motorcycle now.
Yeah, exactly.
Before.
Exactly, yeah. My dad thinks I'm going to be doing this the rest of my life, but I'm like, we'll see.
Well, your dad, he had knee or hip replacement?
Hip replacement.
So hip, because he skis, he said 80 days a year?
Yeah, he's gnarly. Yeah.
Mammoth opening weekend last weekend.
Yeah.
We're
getting some
stoked
snow,
because we got the Cybertruck now. We're gonna be taking that up to the mountains.
Yeah.
That's the whole point, is just to go snowboarding.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, everywhere's starting to get a little bit
So
snow.
do you snowboard too or ski?
Yeah, snowboard. Yeah, my parents live in Bend. They're like I grew up in Manhattan Beach, but then moved to Bend in like 2017.
What's the closest mountain? Is that Mount Hood?
Mount Bachelor.
Okay.
Yeah, Hood is like probably like an hour and a half, 2 hours
Okay.
away, and then Bachelor's about like a 25-minute ride from my parents' house.
Okay.
And it's a sick mountain, and it's
Nice.
cool because it gets like crowded and has its days, but it's pretty open. Like you get days there that are just like you're just kind of cruising,
Yeah, I'm stoked.
which is rad.
I'm stoked to bring Trevor up to the mountain so he can see like like
Yeah.
the powder out here is just like unparalleled.
Yeah, no, it's sick. My dad, unfortunately, he can't catch a break. He got the hip replacement, and now in January he's getting spine surgery because his hands right now, he's like having numbing issues with his hands. Like he can't feel anything right now.
Oh, so he's got a pinched nerve or
So
something?
it's like he had a motorcycle accident a couple years ago, and he like almost killed him, and he like really hurt his hand, and I think it's like kind of from that. So they
Okay.
have to kind of go into his spine and do some work and try to get the feeling back like in his hands.
Okay.
He's gnarly.
Yeah,
Like, he's just
yeah.
like going. He's
How
just like
old's your
going
old
through it.
man?
He's 70.
Yeah, 70, he's
Yeah.
still motorcycling. I like that. That's what I'm talking about. Screw sitting on the bar stool, bro.
He's not. He's not.
Yeah,
and
he's
he
out
wants to be on the boat next year too.
Snowboarding, boating. I mean, no, he's skiing,
Skiing,
boating,
yeah.
motorcycle. He's still ripping his motorbike.
He
I
doesn't.
like
No,
that.
not anymore. My mom won't let him. She's like, absolutely not.
I remember, so we went up to the Rock Store, which is a famous place in Malibu.
Yeah.
That Steve McQueen started, or it was already there, but he found it and they turned it into this place where motorcycle people would go there like on the weekends.
Yeah.
And there was a guy who was like 80. Me and my boy rode up there and we're chilling. And he's like, you want to know what the secret to life is? Keep going. And then he just got on his KTM and like ripped off.
It just revved away.
Yeah, I was like, this guy's like the freaking prophet.
Yeah.
He's giving like the prophecy, and he didn't look 80.
Yeah.
Because he just was, the guy was still in the zone.
Still in the zone. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, my dad doesn't look 70 at all, and he's got like a 6 to 9 month recovery ahead of him with this surgery, and he's like, I'm gonna be on the boat next year. Like he's like,
So he's
"Come
not.
in."
So he's no skiing this year at all.
No, he'll probably get like a couple sessions in December.
Can we tube him? We'll just pull him on.
Just pull him, yeah, just drag him. Yeah. I
Yeah,
know.
dude. Just to be out there.
Yeah. He's bummed for sure, but he's gotta get this done for sure.
No, I
But it
got
is what
you.
It is, you know.
So back to like you being a Californian, born
Yeah.
in. So you went to college out here too, or where'd you go to school?
Yeah, I went to community college in Santa Barbara for a couple years.
Okay.
And then got a little too distracted and crazy up there. Got enough credits that I ended up getting into Whittier College, and I transferred home.
Okay.
And I went to Whittier College and lived at home for a bit, and I graduated from Whittier.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I met my wife actually on Tinder like during that time.
Okay. Yeah. There you go.
How about
Nice.
that?
How long you been with your wife?
Almost 10 years. 10 years in April.
Nice.
And we've been married 4.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's not the usual LA tale. So
It's the Tinder fairy tale story. Love it first swipe.
not that you love it first. I like that. Not the Tinder swindler.
Yeah.
Be confused with the Tinder
Yeah,
swindler.
no. Props to Tinder. I tried to get him to sponsor the wedding, but we never heard back from him, so that's fine.
Oh, really? You hit him
Yeah.
up?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's actually a good idea.
Yeah. But we got married like in the middle of COVID, so it was like 25 of us. Like we ended up like cutting like half our wedding party.
Well, that's how we met. He lived in my
Yeah.
building in Playa del Rey, or in our building.
Yeah.
We lived in the same building.
Yep.
And then you guys were grilling.
Yeah, when my dad was
outside.
there.
Yeah, and we started guzzling some sauce. and
Yeah.
Life. Then hey,
That's how it happened.
what is that? 5 or 6 years ago?
Yeah, I know.
And
Things
now-
were meant to be.
And now paddleboarding across the Pacific.
I know, it's
and
sick.
taking care of business.
It's so sick, dude.
Well, bro, I really appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, man.
And I think we could talk legitimately for like another hour or 5.
I could be here like all night.
You
for
know what
sure.
I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. This could be like some Trump Rogan stuff
Yeah.
right now, without
For
the
sure.
politics. Without the politics.
Without the
Just talking
politics.
about life.
Yeah.
Well, Tyler Garfield,
Yeah, buddy.
my main man. Appreciate it,
Yeah.
bro.
Thanks, buddy. It was stoked to be here.
Oh, dude, super stoked. Remember to subscribe, like, check out all the social media pages. Whatnot Catalina Crew's got a lot of cool stuff coming up. And that's episode 5, Catalina Crew Podcast.
Yeah.
Live to tell the tale. Catch you on the next
See you out there.
one. Peace.